Turkey's defense industry isn't just growing, it's going global. Here at one of the region's largest defense expos, we're taking a closer look at how Turkish companies are partnering with foreign firms to build next-generation weapons, systems, and alliances. I'm Zeynep Gökçe, and join me on this special edition of Strait Talk from IDEF 2025 in Istanbul. Once barely on the map, Turkey's defense industry has undergone a rapid transformation. In under 20 years, it's gone from relying on foreign suppliers to becoming a global exporter of homegrown weapons and tech. Now, every 2 years, the world's defense heavyweights descend on Istanbul for IDEF, the International Defense Industry Fair. But what's driving that growth isn't just domestic innovation, it's collaboration. Turkish companies are now entering joint ventures with partners across Asia, Europe, and the Middle East, creating not just arms, but influence. One of Turkey's biggest defense players is Aselsan. Known for its advanced electronics and sensor systems, Aselsan is now working closely with partners across Central Asia, Africa, and Southeast Asia. And here at IDEF, they're showcasing what collaboration looks like in action. Founded in 1975 to reduce foreign dependency in defense tech, Aselsan now produces everything from radar and communication systems to drone payloads and missile guidance technology. At this year's IDEF, the company is displaying cutting-edge command and control systems, battlefield management software, and portable air defense units. But behind the hardware is a strategy: joint production. From Kazakhstan to Malaysia, Aselsan is co-developing systems, building factories, transferring know-how, and embedding Turkey into global supply chains. To understand where Aselsan is headed next, I spoke to the company's General Manager Ahmet Akyol about how defense technology is becoming one of Turkey's most strategic exports. So, Mr. General Manager, we live in a turbulent world, and conflicts are raging across the Middle East, Eastern Europe, in other parts of the world. Can we say the global security landscape has an even greater need for defense trade fairs such as IDEF?
There are many different developments all around the world, especially the last 30 years. When we look to last 30 years, I think the last 3 years is the very uncertain time. When you compare the previous times, this is very uncertain. So countries and nations trying to increase their security pacts and environments. So especially due to the latest development in this year, Iran-Israel conflict, also Pakistan, India, and others, there is a huge motivation from the international customers and international countries to increase their defense industry and defense procurement activities. In the past, we can define as a modern country, strong economy and a strong military power. Now the definition is updated to strong economy, strong military power, and very strong defense industry. Without this, you cannot have a sustainable peace and prosperity region in your region. So in this regard, Turkey has made a huge investment in this area. For about 20 years, we have been working on defense industry technologies, and this exhibition in the IDEF, we show the result of Turkish successful projects and international demand coming from these conflicts. So when we compare the previous IDEF, this is roughly double size in terms of visitors, exhibitors, and the number of products being delivered, being served in this exhibition. So I can say, I think in the coming future, many countries and many different institutions will focus on defense industry more. So for Turkey, we have some advantages and today we see the results of these policies.
And you also signed some agreements at IDEF. Could you give us some details on that?
For Aselsan, for Turkey, our main policy is to increase our international collaborations. So this is a huge opportunity for us to show our technologies and to build new partnerships in this regard, especially for European Union. Nowadays, there is a motivation in European Union to increase their arming processes. So we signed some joint venture agreements in this exhibition with the Czechs, with the Central European companies for European and international market about air defense and some guidance kits and other areas. So another side of joint effort is Middle East also. Also in this regard, due to the developments in the Middle East region, there is a additional motivation from the countries to build their defense industry and to increase their capacities. So we have signed some agreements, some contract agreements, and also some joint venture agreements with the Middle East countries, with the Middle East companies during this exhibition. So in the future you will see more. Just an example, the number of Aselsan international units, physical units, was 5-6 2 years ago. Nowadays it is over 25. It is operational in 25 countries with the local partners for co-production and co-design activities. So we will see more collaboration, more joint efforts in the future due to these international developments in the security environment.
Yes, so you are expanding your influence in different regions, but how do you balance Aselsan's role to meet Turkey's national defense needs, but also to expand its presence in international markets?
Nowadays, designing processes are really challenging. It's okay. There are new threat environments, there are new threats, so you need to overcome, you need to meet these new threat requirements, and we have been investing for R&D activities to manage these threat environments. So in design phase, we still have many different R&D projects, but there is another challenge, especially at last 2 or 3 years, the production capacity problem, not for only Turkey, for all nations, especially inside the NATO. In the meetings, the main agenda is to increase production capabilities. As a intentional policies from our government and from Aselsan, we have been investing for the infrastructure. Just in 2 years, we increased the capacity 40% in production side. So by these additional capacities, we deliver many systems to the Turkish army, and also we have chance to use this capacity for export activities. Nowadays, the total amount of investment to the infrastructure for Aselsan is roughly $1.5 billion. So this is a huge number for future production and design capacity. So by these investments and by the huge human resources, we will overcome all the demands and we will manage these indigenous and international market huge demand.
So you mentioned one of Aselsan's strongest points is its partnerships and joint production deals with several countries. So how important is this for your company and Turkey together to forge these defense agreements with friends and allies across the region or the world?
Yes, this is, first of all, Turkey provides systems for the peace and security of that countries. This is our main agenda. The main government policy is to provide systems to continue peace and prosperity in this region and in all around the world. So this kind of collaborations in technology domain, in the defense industry domain, is some kind of long-term partnerships. We link the countries for a long-term partnership. So this industry, defense industry, helps this kind of collaboration between countries, and also in terms of human resources side, you can exchange the experiences, you can exchange the requirements of different governments, and you can have more innovative approach inside this industry and this community. So I believe these partnerships will help peace and prosperity of the world and the region. This is our vision.
Yes, and Aselsan was recently selected as one of the 5 global contractors that will help design NATO's air defense architecture. How important is this development?
You know, Aselsan and Turkish partner companies have been investing for this area for about 30 years in the air defense domain, including radar and the communication backbone. We have capabilities and we have high-end products. But 2 years ago, we decided to make these separate efforts as an integrated project due to the new technologies and new threat environment. So Steel Dome is the result of these assessments, and now it is a program headed by the government and supported by Aselsan and the other companies, integrated air defense and airspace control concept. This is a systems of system concept. So by the leverage of this visionary concept, NATO selected Aselsan as one of the 5 company to build NATO air defense structure. So also it is the evidence of the 50 years experience that Aselsan now is capable to design systems and concepts.
Do you expect this to open new doors, new opportunities in Europe? And considering many European countries have expressed that Turkey is crucial for European security.
I think especially this year, this year, the visitors coming from international area is a bit different than previous years. Just an example, I hosted 3 main countries' general staff in Ankara in 1 year. Germany, Italy and France in this year in Aselsan. And also yesterday, the defense minister of Belgium was in Aselsan in Ankara. So I think the collaboration between Turkey and the European countries will be more, because this capacity and this dynamic human resource environment will help the security of the European countries. I think they understand this situation.
And the defense industry is a very competitive industry. What kind of strategies does Aselsan have to attract new talent and keep the skilled engineers, experts on board?
We have got the product and the technology roadmap, which is one of the best-in-class products. So not only conventional technologies, but also new promising technologies like AI, like quantum, like military 5G and others. So high talent and new generation candidates, especially being motivated by these new types of technologies. So there is a huge demand from Turkey, and also engineers living outside of Turkey are trying to come back to Turkey to be part of these challenging projects and technologies. So we will provide enough infrastructure for young generations to execute their dreams in real projects. This is our vision. I think we are successful at this area.
Turkey's defense ambitions aren't just about firepower, they're also about reach. One company pushing that agenda is STM, a rising player focused on naval platforms, cybersecurity, and autonomous systems. STM is actively pursuing strategic partnerships around the world, from Latin America to Central Asia, offering not just products, but co-development and long-term collaboration. It's a model that appeals to nations looking to build local capacity rather than rely on imports, and it's helping position Türkiye not just as an exporter, but as an enabler. From modular corvettes to AI-driven defense software and advanced drones, STM is expanding fast and looking outward. But this isn't about one-off sales. It's about building relationships, joint capabilities, and shared tech. Founded in 1991, STM is one of Turkey's most dynamic defense companies. Originally established to support the Turkish Navy, STM has since evolved into a multi-domain powerhouse. At IDEF, STM is making it clear, Turkey's defense sector is no longer just local, it's global. I spoke to the company's General Manager Özgür Güleryüz about why they believe collaboration, not competition, is the future of defense. So, Mr. General Manager, tell us what is new at this year's STM stand at IDEF. What are some of the new technologies and designs you are showcasing?
As you know, STM is mainly focused on naval programs and also tactical mini UAVs. On the naval program side, especially Turkish national attack craft that we have its model here is a new product. We are showcasing it for the first time in IDEF. And when we go to the tactical UAV side, our FPV drones, our VTOL drones, and also we had Boyga, which releases the 81mm bomber. There's a bigger version of it. So all those products are new, and there are also some other features that we have added to the current products.
Could you give us a few examples of those features, please?
Okay, for example, in tactical UAVs, we have the new VTOL drone of STM, which is mainly used to carry other drones. So there will be concepts like releasing drones from drones, so that the more expensive, the more precious drones will not reach the enemy side too much. But for example, you can release FPV drones from it, so you can exchange your range. It can increase much more, and also the more precious products that you have can be safe. So it's really a kind of a new concept. You can carry bombs. There are some smart ammunitions like Tunga that we are showcasing for the first time also. And also you can release FPV drones. And for example, RF seeker that we have integrated to cargo. We have told about it before, but its tests are completed. So with those RF seeker, you can even detect the position of a FPV drone operator. So it's really very, very sensitive, which means that if there's an enemy operator trying to attack with FPV drones to you, somewhere close, you can find its position, and if you want to eliminate him or her, you can do it. So these are really very advanced technical solutions that we have added to our products.
So you just mentioned earlier Turkey's first national assault boat. It's actually being exhibited behind me for the first time here at IDEF. What role does STM play in advancing Turkey's position as a modern naval power?
Well, actually, STM is an engineering company. With the support of SSB and their guidance, we are really trying to come up with solutions in every area in the defense sector that's needed to provide engineering solutions. And so the naval program sister also started like that. We have started with supporting Turkish Navy for the design of other class corvettes in the Milgem program. And step by step, we have tried to take much more responsibility to increase the local contribution of STM and other companies also, and gain the information about all the engineering for naval engineering. So after other class corvettes, we have been the main contractor of the first I-class frigate, which is TCG Istanbul, that's already in the service. Now we are building 7 more I-class frigates together with Thais for Turkish Navy. And the newest design, it has been taking quite a long time for other alternatives, all the combinations, and the best scenario has been trying to come up with. And now the Turkish Navy and SSB has decided. So we have made the design of our national attack craft, and we have started the building of the first one, the prototype, just very recently. So with that, Turkish Navy will have the chance to improve and renew the attack crafts that we have in the inventories.
Very impressive. And then there's also the deal you made with Portugal last year, which marks the first time Turkey will be exporting military gear to both a NATO and EU member state. So do you expect this deal to open doors in Europe in the future?
We hope so, and we really believe that it will help us. As you have mentioned, the contract that we have signed with Portugal's Navy is really very special. First of all, Portugal is a country who has been dominating the world in some decades with its naval power and shipbuilding power. So in that sense, making a naval export to a country like Portugal is very important. And also, as you have mentioned, Portugal is a member of NATO and an EU member country. So the main advantage of STM is the engineering power that we have. So the design that we have made for the Portugal Navy exactly meets their requirements. So with using that engineering power, we really believe that we can come up with solutions for any country, any navy. And after the Portugal contract, it will show to everybody, all the potential customers, that the quality of the STM's products, our design, and the outcomes of the design is really approved by NATO standards and EU standards also. So we really hope and believe that it will open new doors to us.
So what challenges do you face when entering new defense markets?
Well, first of all, I'm always saying that you should have the best price with the best technical solution. When we think about, for example, naval platforms, one of its age or life, let's say, is 40, 50 years. So if a country buys a naval platform from you, it means that they will use it for 50 years, and you have to provide them logistic support and engineering support maybe if needed. So the trust is really very, very important. So you should have some very good references, and you should convince them with your engineering power that you can really do it, and show it with the examples that you have done already. So it's really not very easy to enter a new market, but once you do it, as I have mentioned, it will be a relation, very long-term relation, at least for 40, 50 years.
So you are tailoring your products according to the user's needs, right? And STM has a strong reputation of innovation in cybersecurity, in autonomous systems. What current research and development projects are you excited about at the moment, and how will this speak to future needs, future defense needs?
Well, as I have mentioned in the beginning also, we are really an engineering company. We are around 900 people, 75% of our engineers. And our role up to now has always been to enter new challenges, new R&Ds and new areas. So we are really excited about it. As you have mentioned, cybersecurity is also a new or a main branch of STM, especially in the cybersecurity area. When we talk about cybersecurity, everybody thinks that it's just computers, servers, and so. But especially when you think of platforms like this, in our modern life, they involve too many sensors, too many new communication alternatives, and so. So cybersecurity in platforms, especially in military platforms, is getting more and more important. So as STM, we are investing in platform cybersecurity, starting from naval programs and other programs, military programs. But we really think that in the future it will be much more important for everybody, because it will affect our daily life also very, very, very easily. You have mentioned about autonomous systems also.
Yes.
We have our tactical UAVs, but one of the biggest challenges for autonomous systems is the underwater systems, because there are many disadvantages like lack of communication and so on. But with STM's NATO and the platform similar to it, we are really focusing on underwater autonomous systems. We really think that it's a very big challenge, but also because of that, there are not too many countries or companies that can build platforms in that system. So it's one of the biggest challenges ahead of STM, that we are going to do more products and more systems underwater also.
And we're here at IDEF. Are you planning on signing any new agreements, making new collaborations? What are you chasing here at the moment?
Actually, our biggest motivation is to increase the export share of our incomes. So we have already signed some contracts, and we will do. And especially in new technical areas related with UAVs, and so we are going to have some more contracts signed, so that we are really open to share the experiences that we have, the capabilities that we have with our friendly and allied nations. So, and especially naval engineering, STM has been given the role of increasing the local contribution. So we are trying to come up with solutions for other countries that we can help them, support them to increase their own local contribution in the systems that we are going to build together. So we have a lot of opportunities. We already had some contracts signed, but in the future, we really believe that the integration between the companies from allied nations will be increasing, and they have to increase, especially to provide sustainability and so.
As Turkey scales up its defense industry, it's also building something less visible but far more powerful: international leverage. Whether through joint ventures or cross-border acquisitions, Turkish firms are becoming part of the global arms architecture, one partnership at a time. I'm Zeynep Gökçe. Thanks for joining us on this special edition of Strait Talk from IDEF 2025.